Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and we're about halfway through Wes Craven's other horror movie franchise. Today we're going to discuss Scream 3, starring Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Parker Posey, Patrick Dempsey, Scott Foley, Jenny McCarthy, Liev Schreiber, Patrick Warburton, Jamie Kennedy, Heather Matarazzo, Jay Muse, and Kevin Smith. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, we're about halfway through Scream 3 today out of 5 total entries in the franchise. Going to keep on pushing through Wes Craven's other horror movie franchise. Let's get into it. As our movie opens, Cotton Weary is now living in Los Angeles, California, and is the host of 100% Cotton, a successful talk show. Cotton is contacted by Ghostface, who demands to know the whereabouts of Sidney Prescott. But Cotton refuses to cooperate, so Ghostface breaks into his home and murders Cotton as well as his girlfriend, Christine. Detective Mark Kincaid contacts Gail Weathers in order to discuss the recent murders, which prompts her to travel to Hollywood, where she finds Dewey Riley working as an advisor on the set of Stab 3, the third film in the series based on the Ghostface murders. However, when Ghostface kills Stab 3 actress Sarah Darling, it causes the production of Stab 3 to be halted. Sydney is now living in seclusion as a crisis counselor for an abused woman's hotline, fearing that another killer may strike. Now, having discovered Sydney's location, the killer begins to taunt her by phone, using a voice changer to sound like her deceased mother, Maureen Prescott, forcing her out of hiding and drawing her to Hollywood. The remaining Stab 3 cast, along with Dewey and Gail, gather at the home of Jennifer Jolie. Ghostface murders her bodyguard and uses a gas leak to cause an explosion which kills fellow actor Tom Prinz. Meanwhile, Martha Meeks, the sister of Sydney's good friend Randy, who was murdered while they were in college, visits Sydney and the others in order to drop off a videotape that Randy had made prior to his death. In the video, he warns them that the rules of a horror film do not apply to anyone in the third and final film of a horror trilogy. He also states that any of them, including the main character, Sydney, can die. Sydney is then attacked by Ghostface on a movie set, forcing the police to keep Sydney safe at their station. Dewey, Gail, Jennifer, and the rest of the Stab 3 cast, Tyson and Angelina, then attend a birthday party for Stab 3's director, Roman Bridger. During the party, Gail discovers Roman's body dead in the basement, while Angelina wanders off alone before she is also seemingly murdered. Tyson attempts to fight Ghostface, but the killer manages to kill him. Jennifer tries to escape, but is also murdered successfully by Ghostface. The killer then orders Sydney to the mansion to save Dewey and Gail, who are being held hostage. When Sydney arrives, Ghostface lures her inside, where Gail and Dewey are bound and gagged. As Sydney is freeing them, Ghostface appears. Sydney is able to temporarily gain the upper hand by using a hidden gun to fight him off. Detective Kincaid then shows up, but he is knocked unconscious by Ghostface. Sydney flees and hides in a secret screening room where she ends up being discovered by Ghostface. It's at this time that Ghostface reveals himself to be Roman, who survived being shot by wearing a bulletproof vest. Roman admits to being Sydney's half brother, born to their mother, Maureen Prescott, when she was an actress in Hollywood. Now, 4 years prior to everything happening right now, Roman had tried to reunite with Maureen, his mother, only for her to reject him due to him being the product of rape. Bitter over the rejection, Roman began to stalk Maureen, filming all of the men that she slept around with and showing Billy Loomis the footage of Billy's own father with Maureen, which motivated Billy and Stu Mocker to kill her, thus setting off the entire string of murders in Sydney's hometown of Woodsboro and at Windsor College. However, when he discovered how much fame Sydney had attracted due to these events, Roman snapped and lured Sydney out of hiding, planning to frame her for the murders before he kills Stab producer John Milton, who he implies is his biological father and one of Maureen Prescott's rapists. Sydney furiously denounces Roman, saying that he has no excuse for killing innocent people other than simply choosing to do so. provoking an enraged Roman to engage Sidney in a vicious fight, which ends when Roman shoots Sidney in the chest. But Sidney survives the shot and stabs Roman multiple times. As Roman lies there bleeding out, Sidney shows them that she too was wearing a bulletproof vest. Dewey and Gale then arrive when a screaming Roman suddenly resurfaces with a knife. Sidney yells at Dewey to shoot Roman in the head, which Dewey does, finally killing him. Sometime after, at Sidney's house, Dewey proposes to Gale, who accepts. Sidney returns from a walk and leaves her gates, which were previously shown to be alarmed, wide open. She enters her home and is invited to join Dewey, Gale, and Kincaid to watch a movie. As she goes to join the others, her front door blows open behind her. She walks away, leaving it as it is, as our movie comes to its close. This is where I really have a problem with the series. Although Scream 3 didn't need to be made, I feel like in doing so, it was the perfect end to a trilogy. Okay? You had everything go to a full circle. You've got the media and the movies now making money on the original movies. You've got a definitive ending. You've got the surprise twist of Roman being Sidney's half brother. You've got all these little things. You've got more details and story of who Maureen Prescott was, why she was the way she was, why she was cheating and all this stuff, how the events of the first movie got set into order. So much was revealed and explained in this movie. This needed to be the end of it. But alas, we have 2 more movies in this franchise that we're going to get to over the next couple days. Granted, the third movie, nowhere near as good as the first 2. There's definitely a few times I'm sitting there feeling bored watching this. You don't have all the star power, although you do still have Nev Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox back along for the ride. You've got Jamie Kennedy in a video cameo. You've got Jenny McCarthy. You've got Patrick Warburton. Patrick Dempsey. You just don't have the star power and the caliber of the first 2 films. And I feel like that hurts things a little bit, as well as the fact that they went ahead and they reopened the book with Scream 4, which we'll get into tomorrow. Overall, though, I feel like it was a good enough closure to the series. When it comes to my rating of Scream 3, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. Again, I definitely don't feel like it needed to be made, but 3 stars, third movie, the end of the trilogy, or so we thought. I think that's perfect. It definitely was enough of a step down from part 2 and part 1 that I feel like 3 stars is sufficient for this. What do you guys think about Scream 3? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's discuss this third entry in the franchise, what we thought was the finale of the Scream series. Leave your comments, your questions, your debates, any of that type of stuff in the comment box so we can engage back and forth. I enjoy doing that. Make sure you guys tune in at the top of the half hour right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And it's time to take a look at episode 8 of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, entitled Ribbit and Rip It, starring Tatiana Maslany, Charlie Cox, Marklyn Baker, Griffin Matthews, and Brandon Stanley. And then tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Will be another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, and we're going to take a look at Scream 4, starring Nev Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Emma Roberts, Hayden Panettiere, Anthony Anderson, Rory Culkin, Alison Brie, Anna Paquin, Kristen Bell, Lucy Hale, Shanae Grimes, Amy Teagarden, and Britt Robertson. You're not going to want to miss out on that right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right here on all new episodes of Renegades Reviews. She-Hulk Episode 8, Scream 4. Again, so much content coming this month. I feel like I'm on overload, but thank you to all of you guys who joined me today, tuned in, and have been joining me all month. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on. That way you're alerted anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. That way you're alerted anytime we go live right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, and our pay-per-view PLE watch along coverage. Make sure you share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of the horror genre, fans of Wes Craven, Nev Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, the Scream franchise. It's the only way we're going to help boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized, make some money on this endeavor. Thank you once again to everyone who tuned in and joined me here today. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.